serious question, okay? A serious conversation that I want to have. I'm very intrigued and interested in knowing what you actually think about this. Hey, my name is Darz. Welcome here. On the channel, we are challenging the comfort zone and learning and growing and just sharing the journey of life, figuring things out. Holy cow, I am like sweating from just trying to set up my camera in my little situation here. It might not seem like much, but honestly, I had to do a little bit of finagling to make it look halfway decent. So I'm sweating. Anyways, very confined close quarters here. I just said that with my mic way over there. Get with it. Okay, question though. Something I've been thinking about recently. I tend to do that a lot. Think and think and think and think. So when you read books, when you watch movies, when you watch videos on YouTube, social media, why is it that you watch, read, listen? Why is it that you're interested? Why do you keep coming back to a certain channel? Why do you keep going back to a certain author? Why do you keep going back to a certain genre or movie? Or it's such an interesting thing to think about for me, because there's obviously entertainment reasons, but like if you see one horror movie, haven't you seen them all? That's probably a horrible example, but if you watched one rom-com, you've seen them all, right? But some people, they love rom-coms. They will keep watching every single rom-com that comes up, even though it's the same story again. And then there's me with like self-help books, self-improvement books. I love those things. And even though at the end of the day, like over multiple books, you're going to start hearing the same things over and over and over, everyone pretty much has the same story, the same something to share. Some people have a little twist. Some people have a little salt and pepper or garlic or, something slightly different. Holy cow, this is not a good position to talk. I might have to rethink this. Okay, I'll pause. Okay, I was trying to have a different angle than I literally always do, but here we are. I'm getting really annoyed at that quilt in the background. It just takes up half my bed when I'm not using it. And it's just in my background and I don't like the colors of it. It doesn't match my vibe. Anyway, it'll be fine. So a couple of reasons that I'm very curious and intrigued about this. First of all, when I started thinking about it, I was like, wait, what actually makes me spend the money on a book or watch a movie or watch a YouTube video? Like spend my time, my valuable time on someone else's story, someone else's idea, someone else's, whatever it is. And then why is it that I'm consuming all of these things and sometimes getting new ideas, sometimes hearing the same ideas over and over and not necessarily putting them into practice, not necessarily ingraining them into me before I move on to the next book or the next thing or the next podcast, the next video? Why does it almost feel like a craving that, I guess that makes sense. Like if you're addicted to sugar, like I am, no matter how much sugar you have, you want more of it, right? It's like a dopamine hit, maybe. You read this book, you get this great, they have this great information. It makes you feel like, oh, so cool, great idea, love this, that was so amazing. And then downhill, I guess, when you're like done with the book and then you're like, you want to pick up another one because it will get you another hit of excitement. I guess there's different reasons and different pieces and parts for different genres or different media even, because the reasons somebody watches like a horror movie are going to be different than like the reasons you would pick up a self-help book, right? But still, like, what makes you watch a YouTube video? So another reason that I've been thinking about this is my channel, right? I'm like, okay, especially this past week with my goal that I had for the week, I just said no to-do list, nothing this week. All I want is just to try to help people. And as I've been helping people throughout the week in different bigger and smaller ways, I'm like, am I helping you? Am I helping someone by uploading this YouTube video every day? And then I'm like, if I'm helping them, how am I helping them? And if I'm not helping them, how can I help them? And really just like thinking so deeply about what drives the decision to click on a YouTube video. Sometimes boredom, I know. Sometimes literally like you just habit, pick up your phone, scroll, and then something piques your interest, so you click on it. Like there's that side of it, but then there's also like what even is making you interested in this loop, this video, this world, this idea, this. And I think at least some of it, for me, it's interesting to hear other people's opinions, other people's perspectives, see how other people live in the world, and then helps, like when I hear that from other people in videos, YouTube, like books, whatever, then it comes back and I reflect on myself, like what am I doing that maybe I should be doing differently, or what do I believe so deeply or so firmly that maybe I actually should think about the other side of it or somebody else's opinion, you know? And then the third reason, what has been making me think about this, is I have had a few people over the years tell me, you should write a book. And I'm like, okay, I see that my life could be interesting, kind of wild things that I've done, or, you know, growing up with 14 siblings. But then I'm like, why wouldn't my sister write? Why wouldn't my brother write? Why doesn't my mom write? Like, what is it about me? Like, why should I write the book? And yes, it does very much interest me to write a book, probably some sort of biography or some sort of like things that I've learned, or some sort of self-help based off of my life stories, sharing some of what I went through. But still, it makes me wonder, what would be the point, the reason? What would be the actual driving force behind, like, what do I want people to get out of reading this book? What would people want to get out of reading a book that I could potentially write? What would make people pick it up off the shelf? Why would somebody spend their hours reading through my words that I wrote? Like, and I mean a much deeper reason, not like the surface level, oh, the cover looks interesting, oh, the title looks interesting, or oh, growing up with 14 siblings, that's just like insane. Let me see what the story is about. Like, I feel like that's just not enough, you know? It's not enough. What? Yeah, I'm just very curious to know, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions? What makes you tick? What makes you grab something? What makes you consume something? Like, on a deeper level. On a deeper level. And maybe you don't know, because I started asking myself that, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. I just keep doing it, even though maybe I don't have a great reason, or maybe I'm just overly consuming all these things that, yes, it's the dopamine, and then it literally in one ear out the other, and doesn't actually do me any good in the long run, because I just keep consuming more and more before the last one had time to sink in, or before I even implemented changes based on the last thing that I consumed. And I know talking about this type of thing does not help my YouTube channel, because it's kind of like encouraging you to stop and think for a minute, and like, don't just keep consuming, just, you know, maybe take a little break or something. And, you know, I have other reasons for making YouTube videos, not just for you who is consuming the video. You know, discipline, consistency, proving to myself things, getting out of my own comfort zone, accountability for myself, trying new things, different filming, I was going to say techniques, but it's not even a technique. It's just like trying different things, seeing what I can put together, creativity, you know, different things. So many different things and reasons that I'm doing this. So it's not all about you and what you're getting out of it. But of course, I would prefer to make content that is very much catered to you and hits whatever needs or desires or like reasons of why you were to click on a YouTube video of mine. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Human motivation. It's something. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.